My eyesight went when I was about 12, and then it was difficult for me to put things like together and things like that. But it's always been like that. I've always been short-sighted, so I haven't got anything to compare it to really. I suppose when I was 10, 12, I don't suppose it was very prominent then. It's got now sort of a bit older that things begin to change now. I can't see hardly anything at all. stayed there for a while, and then that got condemned. And the next place was Derry Square. Derry Square was number 6 Derry Square. The person that lived in there were like people from this day, but there was a history attached to the house. The laughing gas was found there many, many years ago by one of these scientists and all the rest of it. I think if you go down to the house, you will find a plaque on the wall, and that will give you the information. While I was there, it was only gas lamps that was in there, which I presume were in there when gas lamps were invented, and it had never altered. It had never altered. We went gone downstairs, and there was a top floor where we were when the bombing was on. We were on the top floor, and we used to lay in bed like this. And our dad used to say, "You beggars getting up?" And we say, "Yes, Dad, yes, Dad, yes, Dad." And he said to me, "Come on," I said, "Do you get that?" And I said, "Dad, what's the difference? It was getting killed up here and getting killed down there." And he said, "But it doesn't matter, you all get up." But it was out in flats. It was out in flats. The gas lamps were still there. And if you went downstairs, you went down to the path that led out to the back door. And you went out the back door and then a couple of steps round the corner and then down some more steps into pitch darkness. When you got down there, you had to have a candle with you. But the trouble was, there was a hole in the wall that used to suck the wind as you walked by, and used to blow your candle out, so you used to have to relight the candle. And if you were frightened, like Patty was, and that they wouldn't go down there, but they'd come down with me. They would come down with me. And then when you got down there, all those years ago, it was, that's the reason we didn't have a shelter, because the house was built on rock. And there must have been a lot of rock around in very previous years, because the house was, the thing was like that, and the house was built on top of it. So if it was bombed, the stuff used to come down and it would just go like that, and that would stay, you'd be safe down there. And down there was where they put the gas meters, but it was absolutely packed, pitch dark. And for somebody my age to have to go down there when it was very late, when the gas went out, that was light, no lights in it, and pitch darkness. Go down the stairs, just the same pitch darkness. And it don't matter what time you come home at night, you come in, pitch darkness. Never had no lights anywhere, only that one night in that room that you were living in. And then there was all these grotesque figures. If you get a candle and you've got a ceiling and you put a candle up to it, it makes a black mark, and all these drawings all over, but they looked horrible. When you used to go down there and the light of the candle used to shine them, it really used to look sort of pretty nasty. But I just got used to it. I had no mother, she'd gone away and left us, so we carried on as normal. But underneath, when you went out the back door, you went down 2 steps and you could hear somewhere or another was water. And our dad, one of the stones got loose once, and our dad come down and he was trying to make it, and when he picked it up, it was water that was coming from a well somewhere. Really gushing. I think if it could have been tapped, it would have made a beautiful, like, say, because we had gardens in front of the house where we were, and in Derry Square, and if that could have been tapped, it would have made a beautiful spray to have gone in that garden. But things like that weren't done years ago, and the war put paid to a lot of it anyway. So, I've forgotten the man's name, Sir Robert, no. I'm sorry, because you've asked me now, I can't tell you that the man that lived in the house that invented laughing gas was a very, very prominent man, a very famous man. And he lived in the house with this other person that was, really gushing. I think if it could have been tapped, it would have made a beautiful, like, say, because we had gardens in front of the house where we were, and in Derry Square. If that could have been tapped, it would have made a beautiful spray to have gone in that garden. But things like that weren't done years ago, and the war put paid to a lot of it anyway. So, I've forgotten the man's name. I'm sorry, because you've asked me now, I can't tell you that the man that lived in the house that invented laughing gas was a very, very prominent man, a very famous man, and he lived in the house with this other person that was, laughing gas was a very, very prominent man, a very famous man, and he lived in the house with this other person that was, doing chemical. I can't see anymore. I can't see proper people and things. I can see you. I can see your figure and I can see your feet moving. But if somebody said all of that and read it, I could no more do that than fine. I can't see, I just can't see. Sight is gone. Yeah, I can see colours such as, I see you've got black on it. It's somewhat dark. And then there's the walls are white. And then you come down to the fireplace and that's coloured bricks. And then it was difficult for me to put things like together and things like that. But it's always been like that. I've always been short-sighted, so I haven't got anything to compare it to really. I suppose when I was 10, 12, I don't suppose it was very prominent then. It's got now sort of a bit older that things begin to change now. I can't see hardly anything at all. My eyesight went when I was about 12.